You are suing your nephew, Kevin Rickwell, for $4,680 that you say he should have to pay you because he kind of ruined his basketball career, and you wasted the money you paid trainers for him. Tell me a little bit about the relationship between you and Kevin.
So, Your Honor, since his father died when he was younger, around 12, we've had a stronger relationship. I stepped in and filled that father role.
How much older are you than him?
He's just turned 20 and I'm 42.
Okay, go on.
So I've been there for him in any way for a father figure should be, as best of my abilities. Me and his mother came to an agreement on, what's best for that, so he doesn't have to venture out into, other means of leadership. So what brought us closer was basketball. And I played basketball. His father played college basketball as well. And that's where we connected. Okay.
And he's your nephew.
Yes.
Right. And so as he grew up, did he get better and better?
He definitely did, Your Honor. He actually had scholarships in college, but unfortunately, because he had an injury his sophomore year, it prohibited him from getting higher ranked colleges. So we both came to an agreement that it was best for him to skip the college route and go to the developmental league.
Is that what you wanted to do?
I feel like I was pressured into it. He was the first person that supported me. He actually was the first person that shared the news when my father died when I was 12 years old. So he's been there for me since I was 12. And the support that he's given me has been amazing, and he's always guided me in the right direction.
Okay. But did you want to go to college instead of going in the developmental league?
I just trusted his guidance.
I'm asking you what you wanted.
I mean,
what did you
I want to go to the pros. And my uncle, he always had the tools, the resources, and always told me that I would get there. And he showed me that.
Did you want to go to college?
I don't like school, so I mean,
okay.
I just want to play basketball.
Okay, I got you.
So whatever I got to do to get to that level, I don't really see school as something that will get me there.
All right. So tell me what happens. The plan is what?
So the plan was first of all, we had an agreement saying that I would be his manager and take.
Okay, well, actually, let's back up a little bit. He's in his junior year of high school, and you had an injury?
So I actually had an injury my sophomore, and the last game of my sophomore year, which prolonged into the middle of my junior year.
That's kind of the recruitment year, right?
Exactly. Big year for me. A lot of pressure. I had a big sophomore season, and a lot of schools were reaching out to me as a prospective recruit, and I was just trying to funnel that energy into my junior year.
Okay. So, as a matter of fact, though, you even transferred schools, right?
Yes, exactly. Because of his connections, he actually had one of the best high school coaches. He had a really good relationship with them. They played together in high school, and he referred me to them. He gave that call up and got me a starting role in that team. We were a great team. We were actually undefeated my junior year. I was able to lead the team in points and steals. So it was a great year for me, and he definitely led me to that school, which opened up a lot of opportunities.
Your uncle is very competitive, right?
So competitive. I'm talking about, if we have practice at 6 o'clock, he's telling me, hey, like, start warming up before I start picking you up, So at 5:45, if my body's not warm, if I'm not stretched out and ready to go, as soon as I get on the court, he's up in my ear, and he can tell when I'm not prepared. So he believes in maximizing every second, and I think that's why we made a decision. It could have, maybe now hindsight, maybe we rushed that decision, because of that competitiveness and him always trying to rush to maximize all those seconds instead of going to college. But yeah, he's competitive. He pushed me. He's all about winning.
Right. And so are you.
Yeah.
Because you had the goal in mind that you wanted to go pro. And so it was not, I don't get the impression that he made this up out of thin air. It was something that the two of you were working on, right?
Yeah, I can't let my father down. My father played college basketball, but when he had me, he made a decision to dedicate every moment to me, and he decided to leave college. Yeah, he left college to support me and my mother. So he's my reason why.
You were 12 when your dad passed?
Yes.
That's a lot of pressure you've put on yourself.
Pressure and
others may have put on you.
And I don't get a break from it. No, I don't.
that somehow you're going to disappoint your deceased father if you don't go pro. That's a lot of pressure. So what happened? He ends up getting into that developmental league you talked about.
So prior to joining the developmental league, we were training rigorously 3 times a day. So once we were from Seattle, so he flew to Stockton, California to try out for that team. So when he tried out for the team, I made a decision. We came to a common agreement again. And I even have it right here saying that I will fund you financially and everything you need to do to prosper on that level. And he unfortunately got caught doing things illegally.
Okay. We'll get to what he got caught doing in a moment. Tell me about the agreement that you reached with him.
So
do you have it on you?
I do, right here.
May I see it?
Yes.
Thank you.
And essentially, it says what? That you're going to be his manager.
So I'm his manager. So everything has to do with financially, everything that's
You're his
required.
manager now and in the future.
Well, not no more. I was.
Well, no, I know.
Right.
I know. But it's a golden ticket.
It sounds good, but
You
no.
were investing in him.
I was.
But
That's why we're
you
here
wouldn't
today.
have invested in him just because he's your nephew. You were
Right.
investing in him because you thought he had a future.
Oh, I believed in him. I seen he
Yeah.
had the skill set. He
Right.
passed the eye test for sure.
Yeah. So, why don't you tell me what happened?
I got to the developmental league, the G League. Everything was looking good. I would just
Explain to me what the developmental league is. I mean, I think I have a working knowledge,
yeah.
but
So we have the NBA and then the developmental league, which is the G
like the
League. is
minors in baseball.
Minors, exactly, the minor league.
all right. So go on.
Yeah, so I pretty much got there. It was great. It was a great opportunity. I was maximizing it, but I honestly was just too small. I wasn't ready yet. Playing in the big leagues against them, I was getting pushed around a lot.
Let me ask you, before you start, or tell me when your uncle hires a trainer for you.
Yeah, so he hired a trainer for me as soon as I got my contract, and so we came up to agreement like, okay, like we're here now, and we saw that everybody on my team had personal trainers. Not only were they practicing at practice, but they also had high-level trainers that they were working with as well. So it was a decision that I actually pushed on them, honestly. I said, listen, Unc, I need a trainer. The work I'm doing is great, and the work that we were doing together was good, but we did enough. We need to go hire out somebody who just knows a little bit more than us. We committed to that, and that's when we looked to find a trainer that I trained with for
All right. So you trained with the trainer for how long?
3 times a week for three months.
Okay. And at some point, you start to feel that you're not getting big enough.
Yeah, I mean, I showed up to every session and worked my butt off. Yes, I did that. But we just weren't getting the progress in the time frame that we discussed. We talked about, okay, we want to be here at this time, at the 5-month mark. But my body just wasn't shaping up to be that way. I discussed with some of the guys, and I was trying to figure out, like, how are they getting the edge? And I made a decision to join them.
How were they getting the edge?
So, I mean, why we're here is because I failed a blood test for steroids.
I mean, you are risking your whole future in a competitive sport by taking steroids because it's illegal. I don't know about illegal in terms of the law, but in terms of inside of the sporting organizations, because it gives you an unfair competitive advantage. So I think the uncle is more than right to sue his nephew for that. I don't know if he's going to get any money out of him, though, because it's not like they had a failure clause or something. So I guess we'll see. But the nephew was clearly in the wrong.
So what happened?
Yeah, so I got jacked within 6 weeks, and I was really performing at practice. I had endurance, and people were just looking at the progress that I made as something that was unreal, honestly.
Yeah.
And they called me in for a blood test for steroids.
And you failed.
And I failed.
And then what did the league do?
So the league, they just suspended me. It was just a little ban.
For
gave
how
me a
long?
warning. It was only for 4 weeks, a month's time. Just
Right.
had to sit out, couldn't have any contact. But before I could even get to that suspension, my team cut me.
They cut you.
Yeah.
How did you hear the news that he got cut?
It was all over the media, all over the news.
No, but I imagine that. Did you read it or did he tell
I
you?
read it. I have an article right here, Your Honor.
Right, but did you read it or did he tell you
I
about
read it first.
You read it first?
Yes.
Why didn't you call your uncle and tell him what had happened?
I thought he would understand, but he doesn't know how I feel when I'm alone and the doubts that I have. That was just in a conversation I could have with him.
But
there's a lot of conversations that I couldn't have with him, and I just couldn't look him in his face.
I know that you felt a great deal of pressure, but can you imagine? I know it's uncomfortable to call him and tell him what happened, but he finds out about it in the newspaper?
I thought we had that relationship, Your Honor.
I realize that you put all your energy, time, and trouble into him and that you believed in him, and all that's great. Of course, you're going to be his manager, so you stand to make a lot of money. At the end of the day, your nephew disappointed you, but you're treating this like a business deal gone bad.
Sometimes you can't mix family with business.
You can say, oh, I believed in him, I believed in him, I believed in him. But you know what an uncle does when their nephew is in their lowest point?
Mm-hmm.
They don't go to court and sue them.
Make decisions.
They act like the father they say that they are. They acknowledge that people make mistakes, especially when the mistakes are something that happened out of the desire to please you. That's what an uncle does. I need a little more uncle and a little less contract from you. And I think he does too. You say to me, well, we had a contract. I want all the money I spent on his trainer back. Where is that a remedy in the contract?
Yeah, I think we suspected it was going to go in this general direction. The uncle, look, drive's important, and you can really help a young person accomplish something. But viewing everything through the lens of competition and constantly pushing people and being sort of that hard ass about it, you find the shortcomings in that when they go through trials and low points, because you don't care about them as a relationship. You care about them as a result. And he did something that materially threatened the result that you were hoping for. This kid is 20. And he thinks his dead dad would be disappointed in him if he didn't make the NBA. I don't think the dad put that thought in his head. The uncle applied that pressure, which is completely inappropriate, in my view.
The contract in front of me. It says exactly what happens if he violates a morals clause. And I would think that this is part of the morals clause. You can't take steroids. You know that. That's cheating. It said refrain from any behavior, including substance abuse, any conduct that brings disrepute. This certainly is that. And what does it say is the remedy? In the event the client breaches the morals clause, the manager reserves the right to terminate this agreement immediately. And in such case, the manager shall not be liable for any compensation or damages to the client. Where do you say that the client will be liable to compensation for you? You think some kid, how old are you?
20.
All right, you think a 20-year-old is going to sign something that says he's going to have to pay you $4,680 back?
You.
That's not one of the remedies in the who drafted this? You did, right?
Yes.
Right. And let's see, you're 42, he's 20?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right. And so you got your 20-year-old nephew to sign this. Did you have a lawyer?
No.
Yeah. And then you don't put it in there, but that's what you want me to do. I have to imagine that this was devastating for you because you didn't end up going to a college. You didn't end up getting a scholarship. You put all your eggs in this basket. The pressure for him was intense, and he succumbed to the temptation of cutting the corner. Because if you teach somebody, you gotta get there, 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 you're gonna disappoint your dad if you don't get there. And he's so embarrassed, he can't even call you to console him. The fact that you're supposed to be his father figure and he couldn't even talk to you about it, it's crushing my soul. There's nothing in this contract that makes him liable to you for these damages. And so I'm going to enforce the contract you guys entered into. And I am not going to order him to pay you. So this case is over. But I need you to listen. I need you to listen to me. I really need you to listen to me. If this isn't just your money play, if you loved your brother and if you love your nephew, he needs a little more uncle and a little less business from you. Verdict for the defendant.
Yeah, the uncle sucks. The uncle, it seems like, is viewing this guy as his cash cow, and the cow took some illegal substances and got kicked out of the dream, and he's basically like, well, then I'm just going to sue you. What kind of a dad sues his son over that sort of situation? And as the judge pointed out, if you can't call your dad when you're at your lowest, then you do not have a healthy relationship with him. Now, whether that's his fault or your fault, nobody knows except for the people involved in that specific situation, but it means that your relationship's bad. He got kicked off the team. This was the explosion of his dream. He's now 20. So he's missed 3 years of college at this point. He's not necessarily too old to go to college, but he's missed 3 years of college to pursue this league idea. And he wasn't getting there as quickly as he was hoping he would get there. So he took illegal substances to help him get there. He got caught taking them. And all of this is because he ultimately is responsible for making his own decisions, but he's young, he's 20. So you have put in his head, your deceased father will be disappointed in you if you don't make it. You gotta get there, you gotta get there, you gotta get there. And then he realizes, I'm 20 now. I'm slowing down developmentally. I might not get there. And he just doesn't know what to do with that. So he does what he can. He takes a substance that helps him continue on the trajectory to get where he wants to go. And he gets caught doing it, which is sad. Which explodes his dream. It's not just like the slow death of the dream while you watch your physical ability not quite be able to keep up. He watches it explode, Death Star style. And his uncle's response is, how dare you, I want my money back. Not, your whole world must be crushed right now. Let's get through this together. There is a life beyond basketball. No, the uncle, apparently, to him, there is not a life beyond basketball. And he is pushing this young man way too hard. And so, in some ways, even if he did succeed, what kind of mental strength have you denied him? Because you have focused him so much on winning at all costs. So, that's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments below.